You think nature is predictable? Well, think again. What you're about to see will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about these so-called apex hunters. Today, I'm showing you jaw-dropping moments when some of the most feared predators on the planet picked fights they had absolutely no business starting, and paid the price. Let's get started. Crab grabs an eagle by the face and drags it underwater. This is the one nobody believes until they see it. This eagle dived toward a crab at the ocean's surface. A routine move for a bird with razor-sharp talons and 400 pounds of grip force. Eagles do this all the time. It should have been simple. But crab claws can grip with 3,300 pounds of force per square inch. 3,300. That is not a small number. That is not even a normal number. That is an almost unbelievable number. The crab seized the eagle's face and began to climb onto it, dragging the bird down toward the water. Eagles are not built to fight underwater. This was a battle the eagle could not win in that position. It panicked. It struggled. It barely, and we mean barely, got free. The hunter had become the hunted, and the whole thing was caught on camera. A 3-pound mongoose versus an entire lion pride. Let us be very clear about the numbers here. A mongoose weighs about 3 pounds. A single lion weighs up to 420 pounds. A full pride of lions together weighs over 1,000 pounds combined. And the mongoose walked straight toward them. It did not run. It did not hide. It turned to face the pride, made itself as loud and unpredictable as possible, and basically dared them to make a move. The lions, confused, mildly irritated, and apparently unwilling to bother, walked away. This is the same animal that fights and kills venomous cobras for sport. Apparently, a pride of lions did not make the list of things worth worrying about. The crocodile that bit into a living electric wire. A crocodile, one of nature's most feared ambush hunters, decided to make an electric eel its next meal. Big mistake. The moment it bit down, the eel unleashed a blast of 600 volts of electricity, enough to stun a full-grown horse. The crocodile convulsed, released its grip, and retreated in shock. Literally. Here's what most people don't know. Electric eels aren't actually eels. They're a species of knife fish, and they can fire up to 400 electric discharges per second when threatened. That croc didn't just pick the wrong prey. It picked a swimming power station. The crocodile that swam into the wrong neighborhood. Crocodiles are apex predators of both land and water. They have ruled rivers and swamps for over 200 million years. Nothing challenges them in their own territory. Or so they thought. One confident crocodile was filmed swimming directly into a hippo bathing ground. An area packed with dozens of hippos resting cozily in the water. Maybe it did not see them. Maybe it did not care. Either way, it was the worst decision it ever made. The moment the hippos spotted that crocodile, every single one of them charged. They bit into it one after another. A coordinated, furious assault. The herd had young ones with them that day. And when hippos have babies nearby, they do not warn you. They do not negotiate. They simply destroy the threat. The crocodile somehow made it out alive. But given the injuries it carried away, survival was far from guaranteed. Now, here is where it gets even more interesting. These two animals genuinely cannot stand each other. And honestly, both of them have good reasons. From the crocodile's side, hippos are the most uninvited guests in the animal kingdom. A group of crocodiles once hunted down a wildebeest, a clean and well-earned meal. And the hippos walked in, attacked the crocodiles, and freed the wildebeest. Just like that. Dinner stolen. Effort wasted. So what did the crocodiles do in response? They started intimidating baby hippos. And that, as you can imagine, made everything worse. These two animals have now reached a point of no return. They know they will never get along. They know sharing space is a disaster waiting to happen. So an unspoken rule now exists between them. Stay in your lane. Respect the boundary. But if a crocodile ever crosses that line and swims into hippo territory, it will find out very quickly what it feels like to have your life hanging between the jaws of the most aggressive animal in Africa. Buffalo herd sends a lion 10 feet into the air. A pride of lions brought down a buffalo. Standard. Expected. The kind of hunt that happens on the African plains every single day. But this buffalo was not alone. Its herd arrived. And when we say herd, we mean over 1,000 African buffalo, each one weighing up to 1,900 pounds, each one furious. These animals are called Black Death by hunters for a reason. They do not back down. They do not slow down, and they never leave one of their own on the ground. One buffalo caught a lion on its horns and launched it 10 feet into the air. 10 feet. Like it weighed nothing. Like it was a piece of rubbish being thrown in a bin. Imagine that. The so-called king of the jungle, tossed through the air like a rag doll. No crown, no dignity. Just a very confused lion flying through the African sky, wondering where everything went wrong. Zebra versus lioness. Lionesses are strategic hunters. They don't chase the whole herd. They pick a target, the weakest of the bunch. And in this case, that target is a baby zebra caught in the middle of a stampede, separated and vulnerable. The herd scatters in every direction and the lioness closes in quickly. The baby zebra has nowhere to go. But just before the lioness can finish it, its mother comes back. Rather than fleeing with the rest of the group, she turns around and goes straight at the lioness. She attacks repeatedly, refusing to back down until she lands a hard kick directly to the lioness' face. She immediately backs off, not worth the risk of taking another hit. The baby zebra walks away unharmed. It's not uncommon for prey animals to defend their young, but successfully driving off a lioness takes something special. Today, the mother zebra had it. Shark versus seal. Out in the open ocean, few threats are as immediate as a great white shark. Growing up to 20 feet long and capable of detecting a single drop of blood from miles away, it's one of the most efficient predators on the planet. And for a pod of seals, especially one with young pups, its presence changes everything. What happens next is a remarkable display of collective behavior. Rather than scattering, which is exactly what a predator relies on, the seals do the opposite. They group together, moving as one coordinated unit, and begin pushing back against the shark. The great white, for all its power, is a calculated hunter. It depends on the element of surprise and a clean, controlled strike. When that's taken away, the risk simply isn't worth it. So it moves on. It's a rare thing to witness. Prey actively driving off one of the ocean's most feared predators. But seals are far more intelligent and socially connected than they're often given credit for. Porcupine versus leopard. A leopard spotted a porcupine and thought this should be quick. It was not quick. What that leopard did not plan for was the porcupine's quills. Up to 30,000 of them. Sharp enough to pierce straight through flesh and stay there. A porcupine does not chase you. It does not need to. It simply turns its back, raises its quills, and lets you make the mistake yourself. And this leopard made that mistake several times. It pawed at the porcupine. Quills. It tried again. More quills. It circled around, looking for a soft spot that simply did not exist. Every single attempt ended the same way, with the leopard pulling back in pain, quills stuck in its paw and face, looking deeply confused about how this was going so badly. The porcupine did not run, did not panic. It just stood its ground and let the leopard embarrass itself. Eventually, the leopard backed off, sore, frustrated, and significantly less confident than when it arrived. The porcupine? It simply waddled away like it had just been on a casual afternoon stroll. Lion versus hippo. Seems the animals are really after the king of the jungle today, because here we are again. And this time, it is even worse. This lion spotted what it thought was a dead hippo lying on the ground. Easy meal, free food, no effort required. There was just one problem. The hippo was not dead. It was napping. The moment the hippo felt the lion's presence, it shot straight up, grabbed the lion by the head with its massive jaws, and lifted it clean off the ground like it weighed absolutely nothing. Hippos are the most aggressive animals in Africa. Their jaws open wide enough to swallow a lion whole and snap shut with enough force to end the conversation permanently. The lion survived, but we are fairly certain it never made that mistake again. Elephant stomps crocodile. At first glance, this footage looks like an elephant having a peaceful splash in the water. Lovely, relaxing, completely innocent. Look closer. It is not playing. It is stomping a crocodile into the riverbed, and it is absolutely furious. The crocodile had made the fatal mistake of seeing the elephant as a potential meal. What did not account for was 13,000 pounds of pure, unstoppable anger coming down on it with every single step. To put that into perspective, an adult elephant can be 20 times heavier than a large crocodile. 20 times. That is not a fight. That is a flattening. If an elephant ever locks eyes with you and decides you are a threat, do not think. Do not hesitate. Just swim. Swim as fast as your life depends on it. Because it does. Owl vs. kestrel. An owl is resting quietly in its nest when a kestrel peers inside. It's hard to know what it was looking for, but whatever it wasn't worth it. The owl reacts instantly. The two struggle inside the nest. Tight space, no room to maneuver, and the owl has the clear advantage on its own turf. It nearly closes it out right there. But the kestrel manages to slip out at the very last second. Barely. Kestrels are quick and capable birds in open air. But an owl's nest is a completely different environment. And this one found that out the hard way. One more second in there, and the story ends very differently. Snake versus dog. This one right here wasn't supposed to happen. A snake finds its way into a residential backyard and comes face to face with a family dog. Wrong yard, it lunges first. But the dog is faster. And unlike most animals that would back off, this one doesn't. It stays right in the fight, matching every move the snake makes without giving a clean strike. The whole thing is over in seconds. The dog grabs the snake in its mouth, and that's it. Done. In the background, you can hear the owners screaming, convinced their dog is about to get bitten. Turns out the big guy was tougher than they thought. Hen versus cobra. A cobra slithered its way into a hen's nesting basket looking for eggs. Bold move, because that hen was sitting right there, and she was not moving for anybody, not even a cobra. The moment the snake got too close, the hen went after it with everything she had before it could even make its move. Pecking, flapping, driving that sharp beak down repeatedly with the kind of fury that only a mother protecting her babies can produce. The cobra never even got the chance to get inside. It was dealt with before it could go any further. Here is the thing about mother hens that most people get completely wrong. They look soft. They look harmless. But touch their eggs, and you will find out very quickly that you have made a serious error in judgment. That cobra found out the hard way. Nature doesn't care about size. It doesn't care about reputation. It doesn't care who's supposed to win. Every single clip in this video proves one thing. Underestimate the wrong opponent, and you will pay for it. The animal kingdom has no rules, just consequences. Praying mantis versus lizard. A lizard spotted a praying mantis and thought, that looks like lunch. Wrong. The mantis stood its ground, turned to face the lizard, and sized it up with that cold, unbothered stare that only a praying mantis can pull off. No running, no hiding, just pure, quiet confidence. The lizard moved in closer. Big mistake. In a split second, the mantis struck, locking the lizard's head between its powerful forelegs and holding on with a grip that refused to let go. That lizard's mouth was wide open in complete shock, and there was absolutely nothing it could do about it. Here is what most people do not know. A praying mantis can strike faster than the human eye can see. What looks like a small, harmless insect is actually one of the most precise and deadly hunters in the insect world. The lizard came looking for a meal. It ended up being one instead. Mongoose versus cobra. We all know how small a mongoose is. A tiny, almost harmless-looking little creature that you would not look at twice if you passed it on the street. Now watch it take on a cobra. A snake whose venom can kill a fully grown human being in less than 30 minutes. And the mongoose did not flinch for even 1 second. It launched straight in, dodged every strike with almost unbelievable speed, locked onto the cobra's head, and refused to let go until the fight was completely over. The cobra never stood a chance. Here is the part that will shock you. Mongooses are actually resistant to cobra venom. Their bodies have evolved specifically to handle it. So while the cobra was betting everything on its deadliest weapon, the mongoose already had the antidote built right in. When they say small but mighty, they are actually talking about the mongoose. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to click on one of the cards on the screen to watch another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.